McCauley at Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York, and this is the second week. And I am ecstatic about session 31. I am just as excited at this session, starting our 17th year, that I was at any other session. And that excitement comes from the Holy Spirit. The help comes from God. We need to remember whose we are. This is so powerful that I'm going to read it. During a difficult time, I met with Ann, a dear friend and faith mentor of mine, to pray. We sat down on our cozy porch, and before praying, I told her about all my struggles and all the things I desperately needed from God. And then she said something to me that I've never forgotten. Why are you speaking like an orphan? Apparently, I was hesitant, feeble, and doubtful in my request. I was not tuning into the fact that God is my Father. I was reminded that I am a beloved child of the Almighty, a daughter of the Most High, who created the universe. We can never forget that. We need friends and family to remind us of who we are, and perhaps more importantly, whose we are. We are children of God, and by the grace and goodness of a love this big, we never need to play small. This is by Kristen Armstrong. And she was a faith-filled woman who met Lance Armstrong, and then she had a lot of trouble. It did not work out. She never wanted to get a divorce. She had small children. She was devastated. She said, how can I, a Christian, get a divorce? So I have walked with her during this journey with her, because like some people in this room, many of us have gone through a very painful divorce, not that we wanted it. And we need to realize that there is a God who loves us no matter what. And that's why this session is dedicated to loving ourselves, praying for ourselves, putting the oxygen mask on ourselves before we put it on anyone else around us. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't prioritize ourselves, who will? People will see us as a doormat. Oh, I can ask her for anything. She doesn't care about herself. She'll drop anything. I say to people when they say to me, I got to babysit Thursday night, I say, no, you don't. No, you don't. Your daughter, son can find someone else because this is your night. If it's an emergency, that's one thing. But if they just are going to go to a play, have them pay somebody, okay? So this is your night. And just like Tony, when I just recently had my double eye surgery, they make me repeat myself. They're like, I'm a little bit confused. Why is there no medication listed here? And I say, well, because I'm not on anything. They go, well, nothing? Then they quiz me. Are you on high blood pressure medication? I'm like, no. Adult onset diabetes? I go, before you go any further, I'm on nothing. You know, it's like they can't believe it. They think once you're 60, you are on something. You have to be taking something. And that's the beauty. When I was 371, I was on a journey towards adult onset diabetes. I was on a journey towards high blood pressure. I was on a journey towards those things. But God helped me nip that in the bud. I wrote in my Twitter yesterday, and if anyone wants to be a friend of mine on Facebook or X or tweet or whatever it is now, please friend request, because I try to write words of wisdom every day. One of my pet peeves is when people say, oh, I had a senior moment. I forgot, I had a senior moment. To me, that's ageist. That's saying that because you're 60 or older, you're going to start forgetting things. You're going to get Alzheimer's or dementia. I think you should eliminate that from your vocabulary. Everybody forgets things. 20-year-olds forgets things. Just watch any of your kids. I forgot. The thing is, everybody forgets things. So don't you ever say you had a senior moment. Because getting older does not mean that we're not going to remember things. It doesn't mean that we're going to be frail. It means that we're going to be stronger and healthier and do the New York Times crossword puzzle like my mother did till she was 89 years old in pen. So you take care of yourself. And another thing about loving yourself and loving life is you're a lifelong learner. It's like Tony, I do it all the time. Tony's like, well, where's Nineveh? Oh, it's Mosul? And he got immersed in that. Oh my gosh, what about ISIS? What about this? I do that all the time. How I wish there was Google when I was trying to remember the guy's name in A Patch of Blue in 1967. We couldn't Google things back then. We had to go to the library. You can Google anything now. But one of the beauties of staying strong and staying smart is being a lifelong learner. Tony says in his speech just a moment ago, every week there's different things. How does Ellen do it? God directs me, plus I'm a lifetime learner. I read about something, I'm like, oh, I'm going to pursue that. If you are a lifetime learner, people usually read every day. I have this one friend who doesn't want to retire because she does nothing. I mean nothing. She doesn't listen to music, she doesn't read, she doesn't travel, she doesn't watch TV, she just works. And I said, well, have you ever tried reading? I just don't like it. Well, isn't there some show? What about DVDs? What about like The Crown? What about something? I try to say, you never traveled? No, I hate travel. She doesn't want to retire. So me, I have never been bored 1 minute, 1 second of my life. To me, people who are bored are what, everybody? Boring. They're boring. She's my friend. I worked with her. Sometimes you inherit the people you work with, you know, but I quiz them. I'm like, wow. I try to give her something to like. So now I'm going out to dinner with her once a month because I want to give her a little something to do. I read so many books that if there are not books in heaven, I do not want to go. I don't want to go. But I know there'll be books in heaven because God will only give you what you love in heaven. I have morning books. I have night books. I have nonfiction. I have fiction. I have self-help. I want to take care of myself because there's so many books I want to read. I love them. Also, you take various courses. And the beauty of the pandemic, one good thing that came out of that darn COVID is so many Zoom courses, so many online. Anybody who's got silver sneakers, if they've retired and they have Medicare Advantage plans, there's silver sneakers courses. You can be right in your house. They can't see you. You just sign on. You can see them. There's all kinds of courses through AARP that you can take. Language courses, all different things. Each person who is a lifelong learner, seeks opportunities to grow. I say to people, you know, how about Brussels sprouts? Ew, hate that. How about beets? Hate that. I don't like any vegetables. I only like processed food. You got to try different things. I hated Brussels sprouts, but now I love them. When you're hungry, certain things taste a heck of a lot better. And I bake them in the oven, and they take care of their bodies. This is the only body we're going to get. Also, diverse passions. It's funny because the other day I was exercising in my office at home, and I just said, shuffle my music on my Apple iTunes on my computer. I go from country to, not the new country, old country, to disco, to Christian. My music tastes are so diverse, Broadway, and I just find so many different things. Also, they love making progress. If something is too daunting, do a little bit every day. I have been doing 1 file a day, sweet Jesus, and all of a sudden my files are looking beautiful. I've been cleaning out 1 drawer a day, and all my underwear is nice and rolled. And remember, I have 2 kinds of underwear, everybody, remember? I have the nice tight underwear during the day that holds me in, and at night, what is my underwear, everybody? Loosey-goosey. So the thing is, I have 1 rolled over here and 1 rolled over there. So, they also challenge themselves with specific goals. And specific goals and SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. You have to have a goal in order to achieve it. And it can't be nebulous. You can't say, I want to lose weight. If you weigh 189, you say, I want to weigh 179. Take it right there. Don't go any further. Then when you're at 179, get a new goal. They believe it's never too late to start something. When I got Invisalign on my teeth, I was 68 years old. It came off when I was 69. Look at my teeth. I was going to be 69 anyway, right? How was that too old? I'm still here. Now I got straight teeth and I'm 69. Nice. You're never too old to learn. You're never too old to change. And they leave their comfort zone. When I started those classes at True Fitness, I was like, oh, geez, I don't know these people. I'm very nervous about it. I love it. It's fabulous. They never settle down. They're not bored. They're not boring. And they're not afraid of failure. It's interesting. To Kill a Mockingbird, to me, is one of the best books that was ever written. I read it in high school, and I try to read it every 10 years. Because it's funny about a book. You have a different perspective on a book. Like, I read Catcher in the Rye in high school, and I'm like, this stinks. I read it as an adult, and I cried and hugged it when I was done. It was so meaningful. To Kill a Mockingbird was rejected by 14 publishers before it was printed. And we think we've lost weight and gained weight, lost weight and gained weight 14 times. Well, let's keep trying, okay? I'm going to stop right there, Bobby.